So over the weekend, there was a story that broke about the Mandalorian and the Smuggler's Run ride at Galaxy's Edge, which I think could potentially lead to some stuff that could happen in the Mandalorian movie. So we're here to talk about it today, kind of like what I think about this story and sort of the speculation around it that I've seen not only myself thinking about, but other people talking about. So we're here to discuss that today. But first up, hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Sector for Nerds. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with others to help support the channel. There's a lot of great content every single week here, you guys, so you definitely don't want to miss out on any of it. So let's get into this, you guys. Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, Mandalorian and Grogu, new mission, opening date, and details. Disney has announced the debut date of the new mission featuring Mandalorian and Baby Yoda for the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Walt Disney World and Disneyland. This post shares dates and details and everything we know about the change, plus our tried and true commentary about Star Wars changes. This news was announced during Disney's feature presentation, The Future of World Building at Disney, during South by Southwest in Austin, Texas. Chairman Josh D'Amaro and Disney Entertainment co-chairman Alan Bergman took the stage along with some special guests to share insights about the future of storytelling at Disney parks and beyond, focusing on the intersection of imagination and innovation. Mostly a lot of fluff, but it's fun. Well, yeah, this article is definitely not holding back on its opinions. Among those on stage were Jon Favreau, director and producer of the upcoming Star Wars film The Mandalorian and Grogu, who was joined on stage by Imagineers Leslie Evans and Asia Kalama, I believe I pronounced that right. If not, I apologize, to talk about what's coming soon to Batuu. One of the projects they provided an update on was the new mission featuring The Mandalorian and Grogu coming to the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, as a synergistic tie-in to the upcoming film. One of the cool things about Disney is how we can tell our stories in so many different formats, Favreau told the crowd. We're already taking Mando and Grogu from the TV screen to the movie screen, and at the same time, the Mandalorian executive producer Dave Filoni and I are working with Asia to bring this story to Disney parks too. So just on the surface there, you might think like, okay, yeah, they're probably just going to come up with like a different story for the Smuggler's Run, kind of work with the, Imagineers there to come up with something that fans can enjoy, right? But there is another thing, and I think they talk about it right here in this next paragraph, so let's get into it. It's something that can only be done at Disney, bringing avid Star Wars fans closer to the stories that they know and love via the innovative magic at Disney parks. This is only a parsec away or two. This new mission in Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run will debut on May 22nd, 2026, the same date as The Mandalorian and Grogu arrives in theaters. Now, that's the part that I want to talk about, and I think it's the most interesting because the way that I would have done it, right, if I was over there, you would want to bring out the ride a little bit earlier than the Mando movie coming out, because surely you would want to use it as a way to help promote the movie, right? And then once, people see the movie, they'll maybe want to come in and go on the ride, whatever. But the fact that they're doing it on the exact same day almost leads me to believe that there might be some spoilers in there for the movie, potentially, right? And maybe not even, again, maybe not necessarily what is going to all be in the movie, but perhaps there will be little context clues as to what is in the movie or like what it's about, all this stuff, right? Continuing on with the article, opening an attraction and such a massive movie on the same day wouldn't be possible without the relationships we have with Disney. John and Dave have shared their stories with us, and now we've all worked together to come up with a new mission for Smuggler's Run that plays into this narrative. Here's a look at some of the new Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run scenes in Cloud City, Endor, and Tatooine. So this one in Cloud City here is the one that I want to focus on the most, because this is the big picture that I've seen going around the internet and stuff, right? So you've got the Millennium Falcon there, but also very curiously, the Razor Crest is there too. Now, for those who remember, in Mandalorian Season 2, Moff Gideon blew up the Razor Crest with his freaking light cruiser, right? That right there could give us some inklings of like, okay, maybe in the Mando movie, he gets a Razor Crest again, right? And then if we want to take it a step further, well, the most iconic Star Wars ship in the galaxy is right there. Is that going to mean that we're going to see Han Solo and Chewbacca? Could Leia be on that Falcon too? Or what about Luke? Or even like Lando Calrissian? I mean, this is on Bespin, right? So again, this isn't like official confirmation of, hey guys, we're going to put all of the original trilogy characters in the Mandalorian movie. However, I think there is something to be said about it. The fact that A, they're releasing this ride on the same day as the movie. They've talked about how they're trying to implement the story with the ride, right? Like, I think there's even something I heard with this story that the people that are working on this ride were also got to be on set for the Mandalorian and Grogu to sort of observe things about the movie to put into their ride. There's definitely some things that make you go, okay, like maybe this is nothing, but this could also be something. All right, so here's a shot of Endor and the Death Star blown up, and then I think right underneath that is Tatooine. If Mandalorian was on Tatooine in his movie, I think that would probably be like the least most surprising thing of the entire movie, considering how many times that the man has been to Tatooine. And the fact that one of his best Mandalorian mates is also kind of running his shop there right now, so it wouldn't surprise me if he went back there. Working alongside the Mandalorian team, the Imagineers captured scenes for the attraction on the movie and set. See, there you go, right there. I was just talking about that. And you might see some familiar and beloved Star Wars locations aboard the Millennium Falcon. This isn't going to retell what happens in the movie. It's more like participating in something that's happening just off camera from what you see in the film, Favreau explains. But something that happens off camera could still involve everything that was happening in those pictures. Here's everything else we know about the new Smuggler's Run story based on what's been previously shared. This was first announced during last year's D23 Expo when Star Wars creative executive Dave Filoni joined Disney Experiences chairman Josh D'Amaro and folks from Epic Games on stage to discuss the upcoming addition to the attraction in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at both Disneyland Resorts and Walt Disney World Resort. As Dave explained, the new Lucasfilm team uses Epic Unreal Engine to create some of the virtual sets for The Mandalorian. Now, with the expanded partnership between Disney and Epic Games, Unreal Engine will help bring to life the latest adventure in the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. The intersection of storytelling and innovation has always been central to Lucasfilm, and we're excited to see where this collaboration will take us next, Dave told the crowd back at D23 Expo. Just imagine it. You'll be able to fly alongside Mando and Grogu on a thrilling and dangerous mission. I will say that does seem like a cool idea for the Smuggler's Run, right? Because it's clear that they obviously want to, make some changes to that ride and add some new missions and stuff to not make it so repetitive, to try and, give it a new flavor. I will say, though, I do think it's interesting because, I've been kind of following some stories with the Disney parks for a little bit now. And one of the other things that they just did recently is they're bringing in a lot of the Mandoverse characters into the park to walk around, you get to smile at and wave and take pictures with, all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Which, by the way, now that I'm thinking about it, I actually did take a trip to Galaxy's Edge once, and you can find that right here on the channel. I'll try to link it at the end of this video. But when you go there, or at least when I went there, it was a lot of, new trilogy-focused stuff, right? Like you had Rey there, you had Kylo Ren, you had First Order Stormtroopers. But now if you go around Galaxy's Edge, you're going to start seeing people like The Mandalorian, people like Boba Fett, people like Ahsoka Tano. I'm pretty sure they got Ahsoka Tano there now. And then they recently just announced that they're going to have Luke Skywalker running around there too. So it's very interesting how they're pivoting away from all the new trilogy stuff, which I feel like it took them long enough. But I mean, I guess better late than never. So yeah, I mean, this is an interesting story in of itself of what they're doing with the Smuggler's Run ride. But the fact that there's potential to have those characters potentially show up in the Mandalorian movie, even just, I'm sure it'd just be like a cameo moment, right? Like they're not going to play a big presence in the story. It might just be like a good 5-10 seconds they're there and then they're gone, right? But just the idea of that happening is definitely something that could be really, really interesting. So you guys are going to have to let me know what you think of this story so far. Do you think that we're going to see any of the original trilogy characters show up in the Mandalorian movie? The fact that they got the Millennium Falcon here in the Smuggler's Ride with the Razor Crest, do you think the Razor Crest is going to show up in the movie? Just, do you think this is all just for the ride and it's going to have nothing to do with the movie? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. That is going to wrap us up for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with others to help support the channel, and I will see you guys next time.
I'm glad you're here to tell us these things.